to another gorgeous day and another day of Dose of Did You Know, where inspiring, intriguing, unique individuals come to talk love and life and how it has brought them to where they are today. I am your host, Danny Rocco, and with me all the way from the other side, other side of the country, popping up over the border in Canada is Johnny. How are you?
I'm good, Danny. How are you doing?
I am doing fantastic. I feel like somehow we're like energetically connected because we're like opposites, but the same, like
That's right.
same
That's right.
area.
Yeah.
But before we get started here, tell the world a little bit about who you are, what you got going on, the ins and
Sure.
outs.
Yeah. Well, Johnny McCuaig here from Arcana Kings. We are a rock and roll band that features bagpipes up here in Canada, and we've been lucky enough to travel all over the world and play our music for a lot of people. It's a lot of fun. We have new albums coming out, new music coming out, and we're part of the Soldier On program here in Canada, which is a big movement for PTSD veterans. So we support that quite a bit, and there's a lot of positive things happening with that.
I love it. I have to give it, before we get going, a quick shout out because we were talking about Spokane and Russell, my main man, my buddy that's over there in Spokane is watching. So he's like right above you, Russell, like 2.5, 3 hours. I just
Two and a half.
learned.
I'll bet you Russell's probably been to Nelson, BC. That's where I am. If he's been in Spokane for many years, I'm sure he's probably come up to say hi up here.
He's ventured into your territory. All right. First off, I want to know why the name. Like it's like secret, mysterious. Like, what does that mean? When I was reading about you, and I was like, oh, there's got to be a story behind that because that doesn't pop out of somebody.
Yeah. Well, for many years, the band was named McCuaig, my last name, and then it morphed into Johnny McCuaig Band. And as we, started going along, and I'll tell you this real short, long version. We were playing a show at a stadium in Saskatchewan for the CFL Rough Riders, Saskatchewan Rough Riders football team. It was the halftime show, and the announcer came on, and this it kind of led up to this. The announcer came on made the announcements, and ladies and gentlemen, the Johnny McCuaig Band, and he stumbled, and he's not the first person to do that. So
Yeah.
after that show, I turned to the guys and said, we're changing the name. You know,
Yeah.
we have a lot of people. We play in Vegas a lot. We play a lot in the US and across Canada and other countries. And people have a hard time spelling my last name and trying to find us on social media and all that kind of stuff.
Mm.
So it came to a point where the band became more of, instead of me being the solo artist, it became more of a band. And it just felt right. The timing was right. Okay, it's time to change the name. So we started looking at different names and what represented our music, what represented who we were. And, we have the element of the bagpipes in it, but we're not a Celtic band. We don't do the Isa Biza Sailors sort of stuff. You think AC/DC, Long Way to the Top, if you want to rock and roll. You hear the bagpipes in that. That's our genre. That's what we do, that kind of stuff. So as we were looking for names, every time we found a name, it was like, oh, it's taken, that's taken. You do the search, right? So,
Yep.
so as we went along, I started looking up something that would tie in the bagpipes to the music, give it that little bit of a mysterious feel. So I searched wrestling website names. And I actually found the name Arcana, which means secrets and mysteries. And then we added the Kings to it. And then the more it kind of, we play around with that, is like, hey, this actually fits because you've got that druidic sort of bagpipe, sort of
Mhm.
Celtic feel with it. And it represents the secrets and mysteries and what we're all about. And when you get to know each individual member of Arcana Kings, we all come from different backgrounds. I mean, myself, I'm big into paranormal phenomenon and stuff like that. I like to follow that stuff, and we've got another guy in the band who's very scientific, based on the universe mysteries, and then we've got another guy who's very religious and very very much looking into those aspects of the
Mhm.
secrets of that spiritualism and stuff like that. So everything about us, it really makes sense of Arcana Kings, because we cover everything.
Yeah, yeah, and you do. When I was listening to you describe each of you, it is unraveling the mysteries of life. Right. That's what it sounds like each of you in your own little way are doing. So you were totally at home when I went on my whole tangent earlier about my prayer journal and God
Oh yeah,
and not wanting to learn the lessons from him, wanting to learn him when he's whispering in my ear first. So you're like, oh yeah, I got
absolutely.
this chick.
Absolutely. Some lessons are tough to learn, that's for sure.
The worst ones are the ones you need to learn and you fight it. And I feel like a 5-year-old when I do that. I'm like, I imagine my kids when they were little being like, or my dog, like, I know I'm not supposed to do this, but I can't stop doing it.
Yeah.
That might
Those
be
are
a
tough for
journey that
sure.
I'm
You want to go one way and you're supposed to go the other way. And it's no matter how much you fight it, it always leads you back to the way you're supposed to go.
Yep.
And the realization, it hits you sometimes and you're like, if I just would have did this in the first place, I would have saved so much time. Yeah.
Seriously,
Yeah.
seriously. But you know what's kind of cool about all of you in that? I believe like it all intertwines, right? There's all energy,
Mhm.
every aspect of what you guys are into and dig. It probably brings you magnetically closer together as a group.
It's really interesting when you see us as individuals and hear how we speak and what we're doing. It's one thing, but then when we all get together and we all start playing the same music and start, on the same wavelength of what we're doing, it's really unique and it's very, very special for us to do that. And because we do come from different backgrounds, we all are different people, but we connect in music on a universal language, and
Mhm.
it's incredible what happens on stage. It's You really have to see this show to understand what we're all about, and it's super exciting for us, and it's super exciting for the audience as well.
Yeah. You must, when you look out, do you see like a bunch of different people from different like walks of life in your audience since you
Oh
guys are
yeah.
so different but similar?
Everything. We see people from all over the place, you know, different backgrounds. I can't even tell you. It's crazy. It's so awesome because everybody connects on a different level, and each individual person connects to what we're saying and what we're playing in their own personal experiences on a different wavelength than I would have ever imagined or I would have thought. But we get people come up to us after the show all the time saying, I really liked when you did this, or I liked it when you did
Mhm.
that, and then they tell the story about it. So it's really fun for us to connect to so many different people.
Yeah, I love that. I love that because a lot of times it's just like one style, right? So you have a style, everybody's kind of
Mhm.
the same, and and then your fans replicate that. You obviously,
Yeah,
they replicate. So you having all of that brings such a different, vast
we
community to
definitely
you.
have that. We have like so many different age groups, so many different people, men, women, kids, everybody. And it's really neat. We have that I don't know how you'd say it, but we have that ability to really cater to who's in front of us in the audience and connect with
Mm.
them, no matter what age group, no matter who they are.
Ooh,
So it's
yeah.
it's a lot of fun for us that way.
A very good intuition, like on stage intuition of what's going on. How did you guys get into what was it called? I couldn't remember.
Soldier on.
Soldier on. Yeah. How did that wound up in your world?
Well, it's a okay. So Soldier On is a program in Canada here, and they help out veterans with PTSD,
Mhm.
and it's kind of personal for me. My sister, who's in the military, who was in the military, her husband has PSD. He went through an experience there, and whenever I talked to her on the phone, we would get into conversations about how you do and just
Yeah.
brother sister sort of thing. How you doing? What are you doing? What's going on? That kind of thing. And we had a few conversations about things that were going on,
Mhm.
and it really hit me, and I started thinking, there is a way that I can help. She lives way on the east. I live way on the west. We don't
Right.
see each other very often, especially nowadays. But there's got to be a way that I could help. And so we started talking about the organizations that they were involved with and that what they were doing, and this one really stuck out to us. And as I looked into it, it really made sense, and the things that they are doing for the veterans and soldiers and whatnot really hit home. And
Mhm.
I wrote this song. It's called "Love of a Son." And when I started writing it, I wrote it for my boy, and I would have this conversation with him when he was born, and and I would think, what would he say when I have to leave? What would he say when I have to go away?
Right.
And as I started writing it, it really took form on what it was really about. And I talked to my sister about it. What are the conversations you have with your family when you have to go away? What when you
Mm.
have to do things, and what that would be like for a family to experience. Because life's unpredictable. You just don't know what things
Right.
happen. So the song is called "For the Love of a Son," and when we were doing the research on Soldier On, it just fit so well. The words of the song about all that. And we started talking to the organization, and they were amazing people to, to talk to and to understand what they do for
Mhm.
veterans and PTSD and stuff. And we just really wanted to get involved that way. And I felt like I was kind of contributing to helping my family
Yeah.
and helping extended family. When we played this song live, "For the Love of a Son" live, 9 times out of 10, there's a serviceman or woman out in the audience, and they always come up to me afterwards, and they got a tear in their eye, and that song really hit home, and we have a conversation about that. And
Yeah.
I always make time for the veterans. I mean, this more than many people, but the service that they do for us so that we have the lives that we live is so important. And it's so, they should be really, recognized all the time for their sacrifice and what they do. And I really strongly believe that. I really strongly believe that, hey, these guys and girls are doing something that a lot of us wouldn't do.
Yeah.
They wouldn't have the
I don't.
yeah, I mean,
I
it's
don't have
crazy
any.
sometimes what they do, right? And putting your life on the line, and just for people that they don't even know,
Right.
and that's what's so amazing about this, and incredible. And we carry that message everywhere we go, is like, look, these people are doing something that none of us ever would want to do or have to do. And
Yeah.
it's because of these people that you and I get to talk right now and get to do the things we do. And they should be recognized for that all the time. And then when they're hurt and they're, going through problems and trauma, we should help anything we can do to help these people. So that's how we got involved. And that's the passion, behind the whole movement for us.
Yeah. When you were talking, I got chills because it is, you have this gift of your voice and touching people through music. And then you used it. You were like, how can I help? It's like your own family, your sister. Sometimes you want to do something, but you don't know what it is. And then just organically it came, which makes I feel
Right.
even purer, more from a place of love because you didn't force it. You wanted to do something, and then the song came, and now you're seeing and you're impacting not just your own family, but the family of others, and then that ripple effect. So all right.
Yeah. Yeah,
I got
it's a pretty cool and intense movement. We actually, Danny, you just caught us. I just got back from the studio. The Soldier On folks here in Canada, they asked us to write a theme song for them, and we just finished recording it. So it'll be out, hopefully soon. We don't know
yeah.
yet, but I'd love to share it with you. Share it
Oh,
with you when the time comes.
yeah, yeah. And then what I would love is when I'm allowed in Canada. I mean, when they let Danny Rocco cross the border. I'll go to your side of the country and up there, and we'll do.
We'll meet at the border by Spokane. How's that
Yeah.
sound?
There we go. And Russell, I can bring you up with me.
There you go.
And we'll all do it, even from the other side. We can like sing from the side of the border. But no, I'll get over there. I'll sneak through.
There you go. There you go.
That is very cool. So what does life look like? What do you have coming up? Are you able to tour? I'm sure you're able to put on shows and stuff in Canada.
Not quite yet.
Look at me. I'm way behind this.
Yeah, well, I don't know if you guys are way behind or we're way behind. It feels like we are. So you can do shows, podcasting, live streaming shows and stuff. But as far as an audience goes, we're not there yet. Unfortunately, we're a little behind the curve of everybody. So it's going to be a little bit yet. Our fingers are crossed. People are getting vaccinated and the whole thing that goes with that. And so, we're just patiently waiting for that. But in the meantime, we're writing, we're making plans. We do have plans to come down to the US as soon as we are able to. Nice. There's just people waiting. We are waiting. So, luckily enough, Brandy Records, Jacqueline's been incredible. Amazing and helping us quite a bit with things. They've been able to get some momentum happening for us while we sit around and wait. And that's the hardest thing right now is, we can put our music out there, but we really need to be there in person and to do these shows. Mm-hmm. So, we have to be patient and just have to wait until, it's like we said earlier. What decisions do you make? You go right or do you go left? So you gotta go down the center sometimes.
Well, keep creating, and you're in the studio, all those things. And again, time will catch up. I mean, I guess I feel like uberly blessed because things are open. Like I just came back from Tennessee and we did all these great events. These live events. Nice. So eventually it'll trickle up. All of that. Like, it's okay to be normal again.
Yeah. We're hoping soon. We're hoping soon.
I never stopped being normal. Everyone was like, I get these messages. I hope you're making it through. I'm like, I don't know about you, but I'm trying to keep my life as normal as possible. I'm just like sneaking it as it goes. Like, screw this living in misery and isolation. Can't do it. Not my jam. I'll figure out a way to break through it all.
Yeah, I hear you. I mean, that's the beauty about being a musician. When you have problems, you're right about it, right? So it's a healing thing.
Amazing things. So how can people find your music, especially the one we were talking about?
Yeah, you can look at it on our website, arcanakings.com. We are on Spotify. We are on Facebook, all the social media stuff. Look for Arcana Kings, Facebook, Spotify, Arcana Kings, or Johnny McCuaig Band, as we used to be called. So, there's a lot of stuff out there. It's all on our social media. Our website is a really good place to go see stuff.
It's pretty cool.
www.arcanakings.com. So, check that stuff out.
I never know what will pull at me during the conversation or the interview, so but the song, I'm going to just put the link right from Spotify so people can check that out, because
cool.
I want to check that one out. Like, you hear things, but then I'm such a resonating person. If there's a story behind it or a passion behind it, I'm like, oh, now it's a whole other meaning. It's kind of, I think, like when I see somebody in concert, like you were talking about, when it's alive, there's that bigger connection. So I think that's why I like to talk to people and listen to their podcasts. And if I feel that connection, even if I can't get to them physically in person, I'm like, ooh, I guess I'm not a fluff person. I need depth. Maybe I'm deeper than I look. Maybe that's what that means. I don't know.
Well, you know what? Connecting with people is so important nowadays, especially nowadays. Just to feel that interaction and to feel, validated and just conversations and whatnot, to let people know that you're still going and talk. That's the thing, is we need to just keep talking to each other. You need to put down your phones and you need to look at each other face to face and have a conversation. Just talk. That's all. That's how simple it is. Just keep talking.
Isn't it crazy? Like when I talk to myself, I'm like, it's like a crazy man in there. It's like, what? And then if I take the same conversation and have it with someone else, I'm like, oh, well, that's not that bad or that big.
Yeah, right. It's definitely
what's that all about. Man, conversations go so much better when there's somebody outside of yourself having it with you.
And you learn more. You learn a lot more too, which is what we're supposed to be doing is progressing and doing things. So having that conversation with somebody is a great way to keep yourself straight and normal.
That is right. Very important. Stay straight. Stay in line. Don't go down crazy train. But this went so fast. I'm so glad we got to pop on and I got to talk with you and learn a little bit about who you are, what you got going, that heart that's inside you, and how everything has kind of evolved for you. But before I let you go, you have to answer this last question. First thing that comes to your mind, you don't even have to explain it to me. But in this moment right now, Johnny, what does love mean to you?
It means being together and depending on each other. Working together.
I like that.
I think of my wife. The first thing you say when you say love, because she's a rock for me. I couldn't be doing this without her. So love means, depending on each other, working together, getting through each day, and enjoying it as well, and having a best friend.
Yeah.
All that kind of stuff.
I love that. That's really I've never heard that one, depending on each other. That goes like multiple levels. Like you have to let go of your ego. There could be fear around that you just have to release and give all of what you have when you depend on someone. It's everything.
You show your vulnerabilities for sure, and you accept those vulnerabilities, and you move on together.
Yeah.
And to love each other is to accept and to just encourage each other to move forward and be together.
So good. So good. Well, I can't wait to see you in person. I can't wait till when Canada catches up with the rest of us and opens up so I can pop a squat over on the other side of the border. And yes, Russell, I'll make sure I fly into Spokane so I can drive your little tuk-us up there and we'll all go together.
That would be fantastic. I look forward to that day as well.
All right. Well, Johnny, thank you so much. And to everybody else that is out there, remember, as always, love hard, love pure, and love proactive. Until next time, take care.